Hey guys, Zero here again. We're going to do a little different video today. I'm going to kind of walk you through the steps of how I actually base my miniatures uh, for games like Warhammer 40K or D&D or whatever system I'm doing. This is not a how-to video. I call it a how I video. Because there's a lot of people out there who do a lot of these videos and they tell you this is how you do it, and they all have their own methods, they all have their own formulas and their own process, but I feel like those should be called how I do things rather than how you should do them. So I'm gonna go through my process, and then you guys can decide if that's something you want to do, or if it's if it's helpful, great. If it's not, great. But we'll get to the table and I'll show you guys what I have to base. All right, see you in a bit. Okay guys, here are the models that I have to base. As you can see there, these are the guys from the Shadow Spear box set, and that guy back there, this big boy. And then the new Chaos Havocs have to be based, and then I have a Daemon Prince and Herald of Nurgle over there that's got to be based. So we'll get to it and see what happens. And I got some other stuff going on here. I got models that I have to put together to try the new contrast paints. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm going to give you a quick look at how I base my models for Warhammer 40K, or for most part. It's pretty much the same process. I use this box here to catch extra sand. It's just an old GW box, and I actually taped all the edges here so that sand wouldn't get in there, because it was getting in there in the corners too. So this is, you could use like a Tupperware lid or something else, or I could use this lid actually too. I've done that in the past, but it's fine. In here, this is my rubbish or garbage sand and flock. I have pieces of cork, I have bits of old models, a bunch of pieces of plastic sprue, different debris like plastic card, and stuff you cut off and stuff like that. I use it in here because this actually is my city fight or urban rubble basing bin. Okay guys, I'm gonna go over this real quick. I usually try to do the basing for most of the bases of the same size, but just to show you how I go through the process, what I'll do is I will take some bits and either plastic cement them or super glue them onto the base first, to give it some more texture, some more elevation in the base, and then I will flock it with my mixture of debris and sand and plastic bits, and then you'll get something like this, which is pretty cool. I mean, this is my attempt at an urban rubble base, or like a city fight base, that kind of thing. Give it look like it's uneven debris and concrete and everything like that. That way it matches with the rest of my Chaos Army, which is based in the same way. I think pretty much 98% of them are based that way, and I think the few that aren't were originally based way back when I first got some Chaos guys, and I wasn't sure what I was doing with them. But we're gonna go through and base all these models, and then I'll get back to you and show you the results. All right. All right, guys, real quick before I finish up all the flocking and stuff, I wanted to show you guys something. Should pick up. You see those lines that are on the base there? I've done that with an X-Acto knife because I find that the regular texture of the base isn't enough to keep this basing on. So like maybe down the road, 6 months, a year, you know, I'll bump a model and a big chunk will flake off of the regular bases. So I found that doing this, just using an X-Acto and scoring the base before you even put anything on it, kind of gives it a little bit of grooves and a little texture for the glue to adhere to. So that Elmer's glue, once it sets, it'll seep into those little crevices and hold on to the base a little better. You're still going to get jipping if you like drop the model or something like that, you know, God forbid. That's the least of your worries. But nowhere near like you know before, where I could just literally use my thumb and just, you know, and scrape it off and it's gone. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's just one of those things I do, like, and you know, it's kind of subconscious. I just do it as soon as I open up a model and I get ready to mess with it or whatever, and I decide what base I'm going to use. I score the base right away, and then I go through my, you know, my regular modeling process. But just thought you guys might like to know that. All right, I'll be right back. Alright guys, here is the finished product, as it were. These are the Shadow Spear box set Chaos Space Marines. Those are the new Chaos Space Marine Havocs, and I got them all nice and based up. I do need one more squad of Chaos Warriors because this set, the Shadow Spear set, came with 5 guys with close combat weapons and pistols, and then 5 guys with bolters and a special weapon. So I need to like fill out those squads. I don't want like a split squad like that because it just makes it difficult in the game when you're trying to play bigger games and stuff like that. Here are the obliterators. Pretty cool. Those bases are gonna look nice. There's the Big Ugly Demon Prince, and then the Herald of Nurgle. And then we have the I can't remember what it's called, Stalker or something, I can't remember. But anyway, the Greater Possessed back there, and the guy who's supposed to be the Chaos Lord for this box set, but he's not really a Chaos Lord. He's like he's someone who gives buffs to the can't remember, the Possessed or the Mutants or something like that. I can't remember. I know he's a buffer. So, but yeah, there you go. So it only takes, you know, it took me a couple hours, but you know, that's because I was doing other things as well. But normally it's pretty quick. I have to restock my my sand bin because you know, the bits are running low. So I'll cut up some more sprue. So then I got some sprues right there. I'm gonna cut up in little pieces and things like that. And that's pretty simple. You know, you just add those little bitties to your sand, and you know, separate it from your regular sand because you don't want them in everything. But you know, if you want to do urban bases, that's the way to go. Otherwise, you can go with like resin bases that are cast that way, which I do have some of, and they're pretty cool. Like Dragon Forge makes them, or Iron Halo. There's a couple other places that make them. Epic used to make them, but I don't think Epic is around. Armor Cast used to make them, but again, I don't think they're around anymore. But yeah, those guys, you know, you can find urban bases if you wanted to and you didn't want to do all this work. And you know, yeah, it's easy. You just Dremel through it, put your guy on, and boom, you're done. But I like this. This is cool because most of my army is on these types of bases. I do have some resin, like I said, but most of them are on homemade rebel bases. So rebel bases. All right, guys, thanks for watching.